Hello, YouTube. It's Shoe0nHead the Destroyer, and we are going to watch a Shoe0nHead video. So grab your snackies, grab your bevies. Let me know what you're eating or drinking down below. Let's get to watching.
Donald Trump, along with Elon Musk, have created a new government agency called Doge. And what I originally thought was just an older sibling giving a younger sibling an unplugged video game controller actually turned into a real thing. And their first order of business was dismantling USAID, an innocent government program that helped poor people all around the world. Or was it?
I just really like the children screaming yay sound she uses.
Hello and welcome back to the Shoe0nHead channel. I am Shoe0nHead and I am not real. I am a figment of your imagination.
Cool. You also uploaded a video on a day that I was on a work trip, like I knew you were going to do it. Thankfully, it wasn't the VTuber sandwich one. I really want the VTuber sandwich video. But you know, here it is. Here we are.
You have been in a coma since 2012. Wake up. Wake up. Today we will be talking about the dark, seedy underbelly
I don't know if I want to, okay? I'm very stressed out.
Of USAID. This is a topic I've been interested in for a very long time now. And now that recently USAID has been in the news, I figured it is a perfect time to finally talk about it. All the mainstream liberal coverage I've seen of this has basically been late night talk show hosts crying fake tears about it being dismantled, and all the mainstream Republican coverage has just been about all the woke shit USAID was apparently funding. But I promise you, it is more than that. A lot more. If you're not a very political person and you only come here to consume the Reddit gender war slop, you should still stick around for this because this gets juicy. And remember,
listen, I said it before, I say it again. I love third-party drama that doesn't affect me. Unfortunately, this is about my government. It does kind of affect me. I'm very stressed out as a person right now. Things are a little shaky, but I'm just saying. Here's hoping. Give me the tea. Give me the information. Let's hope it doesn't negatively affect my brain. Frozen Kitten, welcome. Thank you for the follow.
even if you're not interested in politics, politics is interested in you. And trust me, I understand why some people aren't interested in politics. It's confusing, it's stressful, it's a lot to keep up with. I feel like 500 things happen every single day.
Yes.
But thankfully, I have a tool to help with that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this video is sponsored by USAID. Just kidding, this video is sponsored by Ground News. Let's quickly give them a shout out and then we will jump back into this deep dive, shall we? Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of political bias that helps you understand the full story and makes sure you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features of Ground News has to be the blind spot feature. It shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other side. For example, here is a story about how Elon Musk apparently pressured the Reddit CEO to moderate content on the site. Right away, we can see that the story has been covered by 12 sources. And out of these 12 sources, 75% lean left. And no right-wing sources have covered it. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see how political bias or ownership can affect the framing of a story. For example, this right-wing headline about how Trump is taking executive action to make DC safe and beautiful, while this left-leaning headline frames the same story as Trump wants Washington, DC to be Berlin 1939. What? I've been using Ground News for 4 years now because it's great, I love it, and it really helps me see how both sides frame things so differently. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is what I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only $5 a month. That's like the price of a coffee, and it is so worth it. It is one of the first apps I check in the morning. It's great. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code on screen right here, or use the link in the video description down below. Again, that is ground.news/shoe, or click the link down below. I think what they're doing is super important because it helps people approach the news in a more fair and balanced way, and I feel like we need that now more than ever. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this.
But also don't drown in stuff. I'm just saying. It's important to be informed. It can also be exhausting.
Video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right? Now let's get back to
I did not.
Deep dive, shall we?
Oh, hi, Mark.
So Donald Trump and Elon Musk created the Department of Government Efficiency, aka Doge. Get it? Like the Reddit meme from...
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little sleepy. I got derailed by chat, so I'm now tired. I'm so sorry.
Department of Government Efficiency, aka Doge. Get it? Like the Reddit meme from 2012? Epic bacon, my fellow memers. Honestly, who am I to talk about dead memes? My username is Shoe0nHead. So Doge's supposed goals...
And 4chan was shut down recently. It's still down, to my knowledge. So, you know, that's a thing.
Seems to be cutting useless spending the government is making us pay taxes on. Now, I have very mixed feelings about taxes. From each according to his ability, to each according to his needs. Taxation is theft! The tree of liberty will be refreshed with the blood of tyrants! My opinion has always been, if we are going to pay...
No step on sneak. Have you guys seen that parody of it? I love that parody. The no step on sneak. I love that one.
Taxes in this country, could they at least go to things that actually help people, like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, child tax credits, firefighters, fixing our bridges and roads, castrating pedophiles, government-funded girlfriends, things like that. And yes, we should be auditing the government. I think that's a good thing.
At least one of the couple of those things were not like the others.
Frankly, I don't care who does it as long as they do it well. Good things are good, bad things are bad. I'm anti-bad things, pro-good things. Those are my politics. And hating libertarians. Just kidding, I love libertarians. I get along great with them. As long as we don't talk about child labor. Anyway, Doge got straight to work, firing government workers and basically hiring my Twitter mutuals. What was once a theater kid-occupied government is now a right-wing schizo poster-occupied government. No, I am not joking.
So this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online, so that would be one way that we could refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside Doge.
If you had told me 10 years ago that Donald Trump
What?
and Elon Musk would hire some Zoomer named Big Balls to help audit the government, I'd believe it. Like, yeah, that checks out. They have no relevant experience. Most of them aren't old enough to rent a car. They're not even old enough to rent a car. They're in their 20s. We sent 18-year-olds to go die in the wars you cheerlead on, you evil hag. Why are they so focused on the ages of these people when our government is basically a retirement home? But honestly, I don't blame Hillary Clinton. If I were her, I also wouldn't want 22-year-olds in the government.
Damn. Okay, I was just gonna pause and be like, I'm 100%. Y'all can disagree with this. I'm 100% for, I guess, age limits, but not in the like minimum age necessarily. I mean, you have to be an adult, but I mean, like at some point, you just are not in touch with what's going on with the bulk of the population or like a decent amount of the population. So like, upper age limits, I guess. That's me. But like, damn, I didn't expect to pause on that.
Months before dismantling the Department of Education, or apparently Sesame Street, Doge's first order of business the Department of Education, or apparently Sesame Street.
Okay, hold on. I gotta drink something. The government has been actively trying to... Natsuki, thank you for the Prime subscription. Appreciate you. It's been actively trying to defund PBS, public broadcasting system, forever. That was one of the big things that people like Mr. Rogers, and I want to say... Who's the painter? Oh no. Bob Ross. There we go. I think also did a lot with specifically Mr. Rogers. Like they campaigned to save PBS and its funding. I don't understand why it's like we should just get rid of public broadcasting system. Like we should get rid of... Stop. And if you guys don't know, the things that a lot of the public broadcasting system, it's like a free channel on cable. So you don't have to pay for it really. But it has like Sesame Street on it. It has child programming on it. It used to have Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood on it. So it has a lot of like just general like educational stuff for children. It has like some news stuff on it, like for adults throughout the day, that kind of stuff. It drives me a little bit insane that they keep continuously over the years try to defund it. I don't know how much funding it has, to be honest, but like I feel like it gives like kind of an important thing to people, especially people of like maybe lower income. It bothers me. I'm gonna be honest. Like please quit trying to completely defund it. Like, I don't know. That's just me and my personal feelings.
Doge's first order of business was dismantling USAID.
Without providing any proof, Elon said USAID is a criminal organization. Oh yeah, they're an international crime syndicate hell-bent on helping people.
Pretty f***ed up, huh? Taking money away from an aid program that helps poor people all around the world. Except USAID was not exactly that. In fact, it doesn't even f***ing stand for aid. It stands for a United States Agency for International Development. It has f*** all to do with aid. But honestly, I don't blame you for thinking it does. After all, they do make the word aid a different color in the logo. Those sneaky bastards. Although it said USAID...
Okay, I was about to say, so it's USAID... And maybe we should be sussy of things like that.
Provides 42% of global aid. The truth is, most of those funds are just spent paying U.S. contractors. And see,
hold on. There was something to read.
The truth.
Foreigners don't receive much of America's $35 billion annual foreign aid budget, at least not directly. Less than 10% goes to local charities, companies, or governments in developing countries. Instead, big American aid contracts tend to go to big American companies and non-governmental organizations. The biggest beneficiaries, known in Washington as Beltway Bandits, each would win hundreds of millions of dollars in federal awards every year.
Most of those funds are just spent paying U.S. contractors and secretly conducting regime change all around the world. In fact, 80% of all USAID funding goes to just 75 organizations, while only 6% of that goes to aid. And by auditing USAID, Doge...
I'm gonna be honest, we should not be surprised by that at all. You would be surprised how often that kind of shit happens.
Exposed the true, real puppet masters behind the secret cabal of evil masterminds funding the woke ideology spreading all around the globe. You. Yes, it was you, American taxpayer. Turns out the deep state was the friends we made along the way. And yes, it's true, we are spending billions of dollars in our tax money to fund things like teaching Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary gendered language, combating disinformation in Kazakhstan, promoting inclusion in Vietnam, millions to an Armenian LGBT group, millions to rebuild the Cuban media ecosystem, millions for LGBT causes in the Western Balkans, millions for LGBT activism in Uganda, millions for atheism in Nepal, millions for male circumcision around the world, and $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala. And many other things.
This is going to be a whole thing. How do you guys feel about male circumcision? I'm going to be honest. That's a wild thing for me to be asking you, but I'm a little... It's 2025. And not all of us are Jewish. You know, that's all I'm saying. I just want to say... It's a wild tangent for this chat. Anyway.
That were so ridiculous, I had to double check to make sure I wasn't being trolled. Taxpayer-funded sex changes in Guatemala? We don't even do that here. Now, you might be saying, Shoe, this seems like some stupid anti-woke shit. And yeah, kind of. You got me. But I ask you, young naive liberal, why the f*** was John Bolton once the head of USAID? John Bolton, for those of you who are unaware, is an infamous neocon hack. He's literally criticized Trump for not being enough of a warmonger. Neocon hacks, for those same few of you who are unaware, are the people in our government responsible for meddling with other countries all around the world and getting us into wars for basically funsies. The people who suck the teeth.
That was a thing that I interrupted. For funsies, you mean let's make my friends a lot of money, because there's a lot of money in war, unfortunately. Certain companies make a lot of money when we go to war. It's really annoying.
All around the world and getting us into wars for basically funsies. The people who suck the teat of Raytheon, Boeing, etc. The military-industrial complex's favorite Discord kittens. These guys come in shades of red and blue. So why was John Bolton, a red guy, in charge of the same program, USAID, that is sending American taxpayer money to foreign countries to have things like trans pride parades? The truth is, the USAID thing goes a lot deeper than what a lot of Republican commentators are saying. It wasn't just a bunch of libtards in government wasting our money on stupid woke things. No, there's way more than that. You see, it's current year and we can't just do old-fashioned imperialism anymore. The people don't like that. It's a new era, so we have to dress it up in glitter and rainbows. To put it bluntly, USAID is nothing but another form of taxpayer-funded regime change, wearing an innocent mask of aid. Shut up, Shoe! You dumb bimbo populist! You reactionary shitlord! You cry, tears running down your fat, retarded face. The United States is just giving foreign countries billions of dollars out of the kindness of their hearts! Oh yeah?
I don't know how to word this. Basically, we're going up in there and being like, hey, let's put people we like into power, or let's mess up this government over here. That's what I'm pretty sure she's trying to say is happening. Almost like the US likes to get involved in other people's governments and change certain things in other people's governments for our own benefits, one way or another. Anyway.
I have a lovely bridge on sale down the road. Would you like to buy it? Listen, despite all its faults, I love America, and I love the American people. But if you believe the corrupt, greedy bureaucrats running the deep state of this country do anything out of the kindness of their hearts, you are a sweet, innocent angel, and you need to be protected at all costs. I especially side-eye any leftist who has the nerve to run defense for USAID, especially those who call themselves socialists or commies, considering the fact that USAID was basically originally created to destroy communist countries all around the world. Established in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy under the noble guise of aiding developing nations, USAID was, in many respects, an instrument during the Cold War to counter Soviet influence and keep the Third World from crafting its own socioeconomic model. A year after President John Kennedy created USAID in 1961, he told its directors that, as we do not want to send American troops to a great many areas where freedom may be under attack, we send you. It wasn't long before the CIA spotted an opportunity to extend its reach. In 1962, USAID launched its Office of Public Safety to send agents around the world under the guise of training police officers. But as it turned out, the trainers were busy teaching enhanced interrogation techniques, a euphemism for torture. The scandal broke out in 1966, and although the office was finally shut down in 1974, the dark practices persisted within military and intelligence circles. By 1980, USAID Administrator John Gilligan was candid enough to describe the agency as nothing more than a graduate school for the CIA. At one time, many aid field offices were infiltrated from top to bottom with CIA people, he said. It was pretty well known in the agency who they were and what they were up to. The idea was to plant operatives in every kind of activity we had overseas, government, volunteer, religious, every kind. USAID was quickly nicknamed the CIA's little sister. Oh, and here is John Bolton holding a trophy given to him by USAID in the shape of a hand grenade. Yeah, nothing to see here, folks. So,
Why? 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 Why a grenade? Because they don't have to hide it. But like, why? Oh my fucking God. Oh, I'm tired. Because aid violently. Yeah. I mean, the U.S. government will definitely give you aid. There's definitely payment to be taken.
Well, let's talk about Shoe0nHead, shall we? Sit down. I love this story. Taken directly from Wikipedia, Shoe0nHead was an online social networking and microblogging service created by the United States Agency for International Development, aka USAID, and marketed to Cuban users. It was covertly developed as a long-term strategy to encourage Cuban youths to revolt against the nation's government. The developers aimed to use non-controversial content, such as sports and music, to build up subscribers and then to slowly introduce political messages through social bots to encourage dissent in an astroturfing initiative. So basically, USAID.
Holy shit. Listen. Be skeptical of everything. That's all I want to say. Before this started, I was like complaining about influencers. I wasn't complaining. I was making commentary about influencers and how I cannot relate to them and I don't believe their lives are what they try to pretend they are. And I feel like everything is a production, like it is produced. It's not real. In their little videos or whatever, like their get ready for me or get ready with me kind of videos or whatever. I'm like, it's a production. It's not real. First of all, you should just, I don't know, maybe I just grew up in a certain time frame. Don't believe everything you say on the internet and be skeptical of everything and do your research. It's just
Shoe0nHead, don't believe her lies. Shelzor is not a real cat girl.
I'm a cougar. What do you mean? Anyway, I'm just saying, like, this is that is diabolical, but also like, yeah, that's very effective, probably, I'm sure. I don't know how effective it was. I don't know what all they did with it or if they did it well necessarily. But yeah, that's definitely somebody cooked, unfortunately. Like, you know, like that, like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, damn. All right.
He created a fake-ass social media platform in Cuba with our tax dollars, flooded it with bot content about like sports and music and whatever, just to make it seem normal, then slowly started to manipulate the users and create political division on the app between Cuban citizens in order to create political chaos in this country and a potential uprising. So yeah, how dare we take money away from those starving undercover agents? To make things even more sus, the money we spent on Shoe0nHead was publicly documented as an unnamed project in Pakistan. Yes, this fake-ass social media psyop they created in Cuba was documented by our government as being a project in Pakistan. Now, think of all the other weird shit USAID was supposedly funding. Those sex changes in Guatemala. Were they really sex changes in Guatemala? Or were they some covert psyop being done somewhere else in the world? I guess we'll never know now.
Oh, sorry. Puts it under the State Department. I mean, like, yeah, they were just straight up lying and falsifying what they were claiming things were happening so they could do shady shit. Are we surprised? I'm not surprised. I'll be honest. I keep making jokes on here, like, I don't know, occasionally, like, someone would be like, if you had a superpower, what would it be? And it's like, I'm not going to say that because I don't want the government to, like, you know? Like, if I had a superpower, I don't want the government finding out, okay? Because, like, there's some stuff, right? the government does stuff. You can look, there's some fucked up stuff. You just look it up now because every once in a while the CIA releases some shit that they've done and it's crazy. And like, people are like, oh, why are you so paranoid of the government? I have every right to be paranoid of the government, okay? Like, again, occasionally the CIA, it just releases some documentation on some shit that they've done and you're like, what the fuck? Like, listen. Okay. Maybe don't be so trustful of the government. I'm just saying. Just be aware, all right? I don't even know. Like, I don't even know.
Using social media to divide the masses and create political division. You don't think... No. They wouldn't do that. I mean, it's kind of weird they asked the former founder of Twitter to help with this project, but no. They would only do social media psyops in other countries, right? Right?
Our government does experiments on its own people all the time. This is a documented fact. Yep.
In March 2024, a document was exposed that revealed USAID was running covert psyops all around the internet in order to combat populist misinformation about the government on Twitch, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, and 4chan. Although its internal justification was halting the flow of mis- and disinformation, it seemed particularly concerned with malinformation, a concept it defines as speech that is factually correct but misleading, i.e., bothersome truths the US government would prefer the public does not know. USAID suggests directing the public toward mainstream corporate sources of information and psychologically inoculating them against inconvenient facts that challenge US power by pre-bunking information before people see it. Pre-bunking includes discrediting the brand, the credibility, and reputation of those making false allegations. In other words, a state-directed attack against alternative media and critics of the US government. So basically, USAID was funding a bunch of dorks to go all around social media and be like, source? Every time someone criticizes the government. This is somehow more pathetic than when I used to use an alt account to defend myself on BreadTube subreddits. That is basically what our government was doing. Also, I like how this implies the people you called a Fed online might have actually been a Fed. There is a chance that you may have fought with a federal agent, a USAID federal agent on Twitter or 4chan. This also implies that like streamers and social media influencers may have been funded by USAID.
Where's my money? Where's my fucking money? Also, they're making assumptions that I interact with other people on social media accounts. I don't interact with other people, period. It's astounding to me that I'm able to sit here and have chats and interact with people on fucking Twitch. Because I cannot, like, I am the worst about interacting with people online, I'm gonna be honest. So no, I wasn't really arguing with people. I don't find it. Occasionally, I will argue with people in my YouTube comments about random stuff. I don't know. For the most part, I very much gave up arguing with people on the internet. Like, just straight up. Like, I'm not gonna... I feel like it's a waste of my energy because, like, I don't find it fun. I find it frustrating as hell. Like, hey, you could literally do a little bit of research and find out that you're wrong about whatever bullshit you're saying. And said, here I am spoon feeding it to you and linking sources. And you're just like, I don't believe you. You're wrong. And it's like, cool. Where are any of your sources? You can look it up. I bet, bitch, I did. I looked it up and I gave you sources. So where are yours? You're just lazy. You just don't want to be proven wrong. I've proved you wrong, but you won't believe it. This is a waste of my time and my energy. Why? I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm just so tired. Like, I'm tired. Straight up. So, like, I don't argue with people on the internet. We're making assumptions. Anyway, I don't know.
social media influencers you know may have been funded by USAID. But who? Who among us? Who would be willing to unquestionably, enthusiastically suck establishment cock that hard?
For all the bad stuff America does around the world, USAID was just an organization that did a lot of nice things. Like it put a lot of money into efforts to help people in a variety of ways. Like,
I'm gonna be honest, because I don't know anybody. I don't actually know who this is, but it's pretty funny that she's like this guy. Let me just call this guy out specifically. I just find that very funny.
both materially and culturally. It's just like a nice way for the United States to have a positive presence around the world.
For the record, I do not actually believe Destiny is being funded by USAID. I just thought that transition was funny. I fucking love that quote though. USAID was just a nice organization that did a lot of nice things, like culturally help people around the world. Culturally help people? Why are we in the business of cultural imperialism? Why do we have to culturally enrich Latin America or the fucking Balkans? So not only are we the world police, but we are now the world HR department? No thank you. Why are we spending billions of dollars doing fuck-ass shit in other countries while ours crumbles? I don't care about teaching gender studies to Ugandans. The pothole in front of my house hasn't been filled in 3 years. These are my taxes, and I believe my taxes should go to help people in my country. I don't think that's controversial to say. And I know many conservatives agree with me.
No, but the US wants to be kind of like the British Empire. We kind of are if you think about it. We have more like a military bases in other countries than like I don't than any other country, A, and then B, like I forget how many of the next countries you would have to that have military bases that you would have to combine to get the number of bases that we have, if that makes sense. Like 27. Okay. Yeah. Like we have to combine like the next 27 countries to get the same number of military bases. Like we're just kind of everywhere, and we really like inserting ourselves in other countries' governments and making them do what we want because we kind of have control over something going on over there. It's
always hear them say, we can't be spending money in Ukraine. We have to take care of our own. And then they just don't take care of their own because that's socialism or communism or something. Listen, do you actually want to take care of your own? Do you actually want your taxes to go towards helping the poor and sick and families in this country? Are you actually America first, or are you corpos and foreign countries first? I'm more than happy to work with you on good things to fix this country. But I don't think the establishment GOP is.
You don't want able-bodied workers on a program that is intended, for example, for single mothers with 2 small children who's just trying to make it. That's what Medicaid is for, not for 29-year-old males sitting on their couches playing video games. We're going to find those guys and we're going to send them back to work.
First of all, Medicaid is for anyone who needs it, period. And second of all, 29-year-old guys? You mean your fucking voter base? You mean the very demographic that is shifting the entire country in your direction? Those guys? Yeah, we're just wasting so much money helping young men. Those greedy gamers just gobbling up all the tax money. Not massive tax cuts to corporations and the rich. Not all the money to the bloated military-industrial complex. No. Gamers. Young men who can't find a job, can't afford a house, can't afford college. Young men who can't build a family because of the society you created. Those guys, they need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and pay for their own Medicare. This care isn't for them. It's for women. What? Great to know both sides of the establishment fucking hate young men. Anyway, sorry, I popped off. Let's get back on topic. Now, USAID did do some good things. I won't deny that. But even some of the good things USAID did were nothing but a bunch of fronts. Using Cuba as an example again, because these are some of the only ones that have been
going back. I'm very frustrated with this rhetoric. That rhetoric, I guess. Like, quit demonizing one specific age group of very specific people. You know? Like, it's very tiring. I don't know. I'm like, I feel like this is gonna bum me out. Because again, one, I'm sleepy, and two, politics are stressful, man. I don't know how else to say it, but it is. Quit demonizing. Just stop. Like, I don't know. Where do you go when everybody just is like, it's your fault? Right? Like, come on. It's not. I don't know. I'm just annoyed about it.
To fronts. Using Cuba as an example again, because these are some of the only ones that have been exposed so far, there was a USAID program called the Travelers Project that was said to be an HIV prevention workshop. But yet again, it was nothing but another covert regime change psyop. This was exposed in 2014 by the Associated Press. Young Venezuelans and Peruvians were deployed by USAID to Cuba's college campuses for $5.41 an hour. Really, USAID? Billions of dollars force feminizing mice, and you can't even pay your spies a living wage? Sad. Anyway, they were used to recruit college students into political organizations with the goal of turning them against their government. The goal of, once again, creating political division. In the exposed memos about this, USA...
How much of this is just like experimentation? Because we know the CIA likes to do experiments. Like, we know this. It's documented. They do some stuff, okay? And this is like the CIA's quote-unquote little sister, right? How much of this is like 100% just experimentation on what would work to I don't know, topple regimes or fuck up other governments or whatever? Like, you know? If that makes any sense. I'm wondering. Like, legitimately, I'm like, how much of this is like them just trying out stuff and seeing what kind of works? You know?
USAID called their HIV workshop the, quote, perfect excuse. Right.
Wait.
The workshop, the, quote, perfect...
The perfect excuse. The young travelers from Costa Rica created an HIV prevention workshop that they called the perfect excuse to recruit political activists, a ruse that could undermine USAID, credibility in critical health work around the world. Okay.
Excuse. Right. But we're totally funding DEI in Vietnam for pure humanitarian reasons, I'm sure. This was done so sloppily that even our boy John Bolton came out and disavowed it.
In principle, I think it's a good idea, says further U.S. ambassador in the United States, John Bolton. But this strikes me as a bunch of teenagers playing at covert political activity, and that's dangerous.
But not without saying he thought it was a good idea in principle. Yes, it's a great idea to create taxpayer-funded secret psyops all over the world in order to f*** with other countries' politics. Just don't recruit teenagers to do it next time, okay? What? I honestly just think it's kind of funny we were funding anti-socialist agendas all around the world and disguising it as social progressivism. Don't think too hard about that one. Now, Cuba wasn't the only place USAID was culturally helping. On January 12, 2010, a 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck Haiti, killing 220,000 people, injuring another 300,000, and leaving 1.5 million more homeless. In the wake of the catastrophe, the United States provided $1.6 billion in reconstruction funding to Haiti, $651 million of which went to USAID. Rather than employing Haitian construction companies, USAID contracted out the rebuilding projects to international firms. For instance, Minnesota-based construction firm Thor was awarded $18 million in contracts, and Mexico-based firm Cemex received over $7 million. But by far the largest recipient of USAID funding in Haiti was Washington, D.C. based contractor Cumonix International, who received over $200 million to carry out a total of 141 projects. In fact, USAID awarded more money to Cumonix than to the entire Haitian government in the wake of the earthquake.
How much of that actually went to Haiti. And I know it's like they just said, like, no, I don't mean money. I mean how much of those contractors went out and actually did stuff in Haiti. Like, you know, like how much of that went to actively rebuilding or helping Haiti out? Like in reality, you know? Does that make sense? I hope she tells me. But like, does that make sense?
An audit conducted on Chemonix
Please. Okay.
revealed that the company had a tendency to not finish jobs.
There it is.
Evaluated its own project on arbitrary criteria, not having to do anything with the project, and failed to set timelines, causing some projects to fall behind schedule. In one case, Chemonix was contracted to build Haiti's new parliament building, but what they constructed came out half-finished and unusable. The company only built the framework of the building, not even erecting interior walls to divide office spaces, nor did they bother to furnish the building. Left with this, the Haitian government was forced to draw $775,000 from its public treasury to complete the project. Despite these disastrous results, Chemonix to this day remains USAID's top contractor. The construction company was awarded $506.4 million in contracts in 2021 alone.
You cannot convince me that they are not money laundering somehow. Like, that's just money laundering. Am I wrong? That's money laundering. Or just straight up theft. But I feel like it's money laundering. The fact that it's a DC company, I would guess it's a CIA front. Like, is this not money laundering or just straight up theft? Like, am I the only person? Okay. Am I the only person that, again, is just like, suspicious about random shit? Like that's a money laundering scheme. Like, am I just like am I the only person that feels that way about certain things? Or I hear something like this and I'm like, this is they're money laundering. Like, slush fund, something. Like, you know, something. So I'm not the only one that thinks it's like, damn it. Just damn it.
In a leaked email exposed by WikiLeaks, they described this tragedy as a gold rush, ensuring that it would be great.
There it is.
WikiLeaks. They described this tragedy as a gold rush, ensuring that it would be great for international companies. Seems like the only thing they are culturally helping is their own wallets, am I right? And you know how you always hear about how poor people are in Venezuela and how the politicians are so rich and live in luxury? Yeah, part of that has to do with USAID. Billions of dollars of aid we sent to Venezuela just lined the pockets of US-backed politicians there. Only 2% of the aid we sent to Venezuela actually went to help Venezuelans. So at this point, the whole world was basically sick of USAID's bullshit. In 2013, Bolivian President Evo Morales expelled USAID officials from his country on the grounds that the agency had conspired against his government by allegedly manipulating social movements in the country. He also charged that a previous USAID program that sought to help cocoa farms switch to new crops was politically motivated. Russia expelled the agency in 2012 for similar reasons. Its foreign ministry argued in a statement that USAID attempts to influence political processes through its grants. And in February, Kenyan Cabinet Secretary Francis Kimimya claimed that his government had evidence that USAID had hired activists to organize anti-government protests in Nairobi in an effort to topple the government.
Yeah, that seems to be what we're doing. We're trying to topple a bunch of governments. Or we're like sending people out to be like, see if this will work. And then they're not doing the best job of hiding it or some shit. I don't even know. Like, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, come on, man.
Oh, and if you're wondering why so many news outlets and journalists were freaking out over the potential shutting down of USAID, yeah, it's probably because it's where their paychecks were coming from. Yeah, apparently USAID was funding about 6,200 journalists and 707 news outlets all across the world. Not even just America. For example, the editor-in-chief of a Ukrainian news outlet wrote that destroying USAID was a greater threat to Ukrainian journalism than the Russian invasion. What? There were independent outlets shutting down everywhere, including Russia after the USAID freeze. So we were apparently funding media in both Ukraine and Russia.
I'm playing both sides so that I always come out on top.
Serbia, Moldova, all across Latin America, independent outlets shutting down everywhere. All because the little sister of the CIA can't pay no mo. So I have a question. Why the f*** were we funding media in all these other countries? Well,
To control the other countries. We do that kind of shit a lot. It's not even like, listen. Information is so important, all right? And the fact that they're using like social media or whatever to try to like drum up revolutionaries, like that's legit. Like I'm not even, that's why I was like, damn, all right. How you give out information and what information, controlling information, I guess, is like, my brain can't explain this really well right now. I'm so sorry. The controlling of information is so important, especially in like, very specifically like kind of warfare. But if we're doing kind of like governmental warfare, like not physical, like fighting, guns, whatever, he who controls information controls the world. Yes, that kind of thing. Like control the narrative, that kind of same vibe. You can control nations with that. Like it's insane. Like we're blind to a lot of things. First of all, every country's citizens are blind to a lot of things. Your government's not giving you all the information. I don't care what government you have. Your government's not giving you every little bit of information. It's just that's not happening. As an American, I know I'm blind to a lot of things. I know there's like a lot of things that my government does not let me know that's happening. And like, we're probably doing some really shitty, I know we're doing some shitty stuff. Like, first of all, there's this whole video, but like, other than that, we're absolutely doing shitty stuff. One, within the United States, and two, in other countries. That is just happening. Straight up. I don't care. I don't care what your politics are. We're doing some horrible things in other countries and in the United States. That's just, it is what it is. I'm not saying that we're the only country that does that. That is not true. We are not the only country that does this. Our government is not the only government that does this. It's a thing. So that, you're not aware of everything that is happening because the government is controlling what you see. We keep using China as a big example of like, oh, China this, China that. The same thing happens on a different scale or in a different way in other countries. Like, oh, there's the big firewall of China, haha, where like they can't easily get access to a lot of websites over the seas, international websites, whatever, that kind of stuff. I feel like our internet is more, the access to information we have is less than you think it is. It's also more than you think it is, but it's also less in a certain way. I don't know. Like, and it has a lot to do with how we get information, right? Like social media, for example, or like our news outlet websites, that kind of thing. Like how we get information is very controlled. The information that is given out is also very controlled, right? And pick a news source, it is in someone's pockets. All right? So just be aware. I don't know, it's like you can't trust anybody out here. I'm just saying. It's very exhausting. I'm not going to lie to you.
So I have a question. Why the f were we funding media in all these other countries? Well, the CEO for the Center of Investigative Reporting, a USAID-supported Bosnian media organization, said it best. Quote, "If you are funded by the US government, there are certain topics that you would simply not go after, because the US government has its interests that are above all else." Oh, I guess that answers my question. USAID is also ridden with other scandals, such as covering up a child sex abuse ring in Kenya, kidnapping and torturing people in Uruguay, forced sterilizing 300,000 Peruvian women, and the famous one you all know, funding drug production in Afghanistan. Oopsie poopsies, we did little fucky wuckies. Now think about all the other shit that hasn't been exposed. These aren't mistakes, these aren't flukes.
Oh, so those were all horrible things that were just listed. Like, every bit of that is pretty fucked up and terrible.
These aren't little fucky wuckies. This is what this program was set out to do. This is why it was created. We were quite literally funding Globo Homo as a sneaky way to do regime change and American intervention. Or do you think we're spending $1 million in Nepal to promote atheism because Hinduism is such a threat? You're cute. The United States won't sleep until there's an ugly progress flag hanging on a Starbucks on every corner of every street all over the world from Latin America to the Middle East. Ah yes, the greatest American exports, butt, sex, and war. There are a shit ton of old left-wing articles you can find online spanning back to like 2010, even earlier, about how evil USAID is. Now suddenly liberals are acting like it's another fucking beacon of democracy that we have to cry and piss and shit about just because it's Trump getting rid of it. Frankly, I don't care. If they start dismantling things that I do care about, things that do actually help the American people, then I will care. Expose where the trillions of dollars we spent on the Iraq war went next, please. Or, you know, actually release the Epstein files. Do I think Doge cut USAID because they're our great comrade in arms, cutting off the tentacles of American imperialism? No. Trump probably just cut it because he thought it was a woke, gay waste of money, and it was. But as far as I'm concerned, every article written about how bad dismantling it was written by John Bolton himself. Like the president of Colombia said, "Take your money with you. It's poison." All the sources I used in this video and all the information I got for this video will be in links down below. Feel free to do your own research as always. And if you like this video, please consider—
I mean, it is, okay. This is another thing, right? If you were a streamer, if you were a content creator, whatever, you are going to get approached by companies that want you to play their game or use their product or whatever the fuck, and then they want you to do a review. My thing is like, hey, what if I don't like it though? You know, it feels weird, right? So it's like, am I allowed to be like, I don't like it? Like, just like, hey, I don't like this for XYZ reasons, or I just don't like it. I don't know. I'm not having fun or whatever. Like, once you take money from someone, there is an expectation that you're going to have their best interests in mind, right? I mean, depending on the streamer, they might have it written in the contract that I can give an honest opinion on. I mean, yes, some of them are, but there's still like an expectation that you're going to say positive things about it. I have yet to take any of that because I'm going to be 100% with you. I don't like feeling like I'm forced to do something, and it will make me dislike whatever I'm doing if I feel like I'm forced to it. I don't know why. It's just like my knee-jerk reaction. So I haven't taken any of those offers so far because I'm like, if it's not something I already wanted to do, I'm not going to do it. That's why today's video is sponsored by Straight Shadow Legends or whatever the fuck. I haven't taken any sponsorship deals. There was one that I was like, oh man, I would if I was like a flesh tuber, right? Because it was like an article of clothing, and it was one that I'd already looked at multiple times and was actively like, I might buy this. I haven't bought it yet, but they offered it to me, but I was like, hey, I can't wear it for one of my videos though, because I'm a VTuber. Like I physically cannot wear it. I can technically, but like no one will see it. I can talk about it, but I am a VTuber. And when I sent that to them, like, I didn't hear anything back. And, like, that's fine. Like, I'm not upset about it. Like, I get it. If I want to buy it, I'll just buy it. It's not a big deal. And I don't want to, like, kind of trick them by being like, sure, send me your thing for free and I will wear it while streaming, but you can't see it because I'm a VTuber. Like, I'll just mention it. Like, you know? But, like, I mean, I just feel like there's an expectation of, like, you should talk positively about it. I do get some food ones that are like, hey, we want to sponsor you. And I'm like, hey, I have a lot of food hangups and stuff, and I can't eat whatever your meal thing is. Like, I can't eat it. Like, I just know for a fact I can't eat it. I'm very picky and have some food hangups, so I can't do that. Sorry. Like, I always find those are funny, but, like, oh, have a good night. But yeah, like, I don't know. If you get someone sponsors you, there's, like, kind of this, it feels like, at least, there's this expectation that you put their best forward, I guess, because they're giving you money. It's just kind of a weird thought.
Be in links down below.
Has Grapico really reached out? Be honest. No, Grapico has never reached out to me. I don't think Grapico knows I exist, despite the fact that I've done everything I can to get more people to buy Grapico.
Sources I use in this video and all the information I got for this video will be in links down below. Feel free to do your own research as always. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing. A lot of you aren't subscribed apparently. You just watch and f*** off. I will find you. Also, this video is most likely going to be demonetized, so if you can and if you want to, please donate to me on Patreon, link down below. It helps the channel so much, and I appreciate it. And
then if there's, I don't know if Patreon has, like, parts that you can comment or whatever, but you could be like, hey, so about that VTuber video. About that VTuber video, you know?
I will see you next time with a less serious, more fun video. Bye!
Bye! You want Grapeco just based on that logo? It looks so good. Yeah, so you can only really buy Grapeco in Alabama. Unfortunately. It tastes like purple.
Fucking hate Hillary Clinton.
All right.